That's the only one that exists at that time.
Oh.
My name is IsamarAlbertoyGustavo, and we are from Toa Baja, Puerto Rico.
Alberto, I'm her husband, so we both live in Toa Baja. I think it started on a Friday. We started hearing about the hurricane,
Yeah.
right? Right when
But
it got to on Monday, it was already a hurricane, and it was a warning. I do remember because we were going to buy an insurance policy on Friday, but when it got on, the insurance company was closed, and then on Monday, when the insurance company opened, since it was already a warning, they didn't sell any insurance policy, so we got stuck.
And we remember too the Sunday before the hurricane. I remember your mother called us and asked you, where are you? Do you hear the news?
The municipality had some loudspeaker going around, urging people to move out of the area. And in our case, since the beach is in front and we have a lake in the back here, we were supposed to leave the premises basically. And
from here.
We moved from this apartment to my father's house.
Eso fue el día del huracán.
Oh.
Gustavo tenía unos audífonos y un abanico de batería.
Oh.
Durante el huracán.
Wow.
When we came back to see if everything was okay, we talked with some neighbor and talk us
what happened, and it's basically that everything around this municipality, Toa Baja, got flooded. People had to get rescued through helicopter in the middle of the hurricane. It was said that
the roof.
Yeah, the National Guard.
Yeah.
They were patrolling, passing through, and then the person he was on his way back to the base, and when he was on his way, he saw people on top of the rooftop of their houses. And then he realized that the whole town was flooded, and he started doing rescue missions with those people, and started a lot of they started making calls, and a helicopter came down, and the National Guard came in and tried to rescue them. Well, we have a tree in front and we lost it. And I love that tree. I really missed it.
Yeah. But we are very lucky because our house
basically stayed.
Yeah.
We decided to go out specifically because basically it was kind of like a war zone. So you weren't able to get any supplies, no nothing. So you have to remember that whenever you go out to a supermarket or whatever, there were no food, no milk, no nothing. Just what everybody left. It was kind of like that. There was no gas since most of the gas stations got affected by it. They have to rationize the gas for everybody, right? And also the Coast Guard, there were no gas coming in since the Coast Guard closed the ports by that time, and they waited for like a week or 2 weeks in order to open the ports. There were long lines, I remember, just to get that $10 of gas. But long lines.
No,
for
we spent a whole one day to the gas station.
That $10 basically got you 1/4 of the tank. You know, you can basically move. Everything was down.
Down here, yeah.
That's why we decided to leave. Well, coming into Houston, we had been before, so we already knew Houston. The thing is that Houston had passed, Harvey had passed by then, and we didn't know what to expect because we received what we saw from the news. Apparently, the whole city was flooded, you know. And it showed some streets that we knew that were flooded, and we didn't know what to expect when we got there. But to tell you the truth, it was nicer than what we have down here, and basically Houston bounced back very quickly.
We decided to move Gustavo, our son. He has 9 years, and we decided to enroll him to a school there.
It was the first because it's the Hurricane Maria, because it's raining. It's because there's no electricity
Power.
Electricity here.
I like to stay in Houston.
You like to stay in Houston? What do you like about Houston?
Mis primos míos,
Your primos, ¿cómo se llama?
Amaya, Diego y Esteban,
Oh, y también tengo otros primos.
Sandra y Fernando.
And every people on that school was so very nice with us.
So Houston people are very nice.
Yeah.
They took care of my son.
Yeah.
He adapted very quickly. I was surprised, even better than the way he adapted here in Puerto Rico. But
when we talk with them and explain the situation of us, they
understood and sympathized.
Yeah. But it was the first time. It was the first time that all the cousins spent a long time together. And it was detrás de una noticia mala. That's the good part of the story. And the three brothers spent more time together too.
The way that Puerto Rico was, that we didn't care at all from our job. If they demanded us to come down by that time, I will have quit right there. No remorse. But I'm not coming back. But thank God they let us work work remotely. Since thank God we work in IT.
But on December, our jobs
stated that we had to come back.
We had to come back.
Sometimes I do feel that I should have stayed and accepted an offer.
El bizcocho.
The thing here is that we lost so much since the hurricane, because all our family basically stayed stateside, and we really missed everybody, you know. You wonder what they are doing stateside, what they're doing right now, and you know, so now we feel kind of like kind of alone. We miss everybody
and people, family.
Yeah.
We are very proud of our family, and we need to continue working and move on.
In a terrible time of need, you guys open up your house, and we are extremely grateful. There was no way that we could have done it. There's no way I don't know really